Hey everyone, I'm Nick, and this is C++ from scratch. So in this episode of the series, we're going to be talking about pointers. So in the past few videos, we've been looking at references, and one of the things that we brought up was this ampersand or address of operator. And we showed how we could use this to get, say, the address of some variable like an integer. Now a natural question to have is, can we store this address in some location? And the answer to that question is yes, right? And we call that kind of type a pointer, right? A pointer just stores the address, say, of some type. So for example, we can have a pointer to an integer, a pointer to a floating point number, a pointer to a vector, and even pointers to other pointers. And there's even cases where we can have more general kinds of pointers with these things called void pointers. Now, what we're going to be looking at today is kind of the basics of how we play around with this, address type, these pointers, and how we can use them and just try to understand them a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll open up a new example called pointers.cpp. And inside of here, we'll go ahead and include IOStream so we can do some printing, and we'll create a main function, right, the core of our C++ programs. Now inside of here, we can go ahead and create, say, some integer a, and say set it equal to 5, just like we did inside of a reference example. And we know that we can, say, create a reference to a by creating some reference type, so integer ampersand, and then we can create a reference named b and make a reference to a, right? So now b is a reference to a here. B is an alias of a. So whenever I change a, or I change b, I'm really just changing the memory location of this variable a here. Now, instead of having a reference here, right, I may want to store, say, the address of a. And the way that I can do that is by creating this pointer type here. So instead of this ampersand here, I'm going to have this star sign. And this is saying, for this variable, I want the type to be a memory address to an integer. So underneath the hood, b is going to store the address of an integer. And it'll also change the right-hand side here. So instead of storing a, which is an integer, it needs to store a memory address. So we can use this ampersand or address of operator here. So now we have a pointer to an integer b that is storing the address of our integer a here. Okay, so let's go ahead and go down here and let's print out both of these. So we'll do std_cout and we'll print out, a is equal to, we'll print out the value of a, which is an integer, 5. We'll print out a new line character, and then we'll do the exact same thing with b as well. But b in this case is not an integer. It's a pointer to an integer. It's a memory location. So when we print out the value of b here, we're going to see an address, right? Because again, b has the type of a pointer. It's pointing to an integer. It's storing the address of an integer here. So we'll see the address of a get printed out when we do this. So we can go ahead and save this. We can compile pointers.cpp, call the output executable, say pointers. And when we go ahead and run this, we can see that a is an integer. So we get an integer printed out here, 5. And then b is our pointer, right? It's storing a memory address. So we get the address of our variable a printed out here, right? Because inside of our program, we said we wanted to store inside of our pointer the address of a. So in fact, if we go ahead and just print out the address of a instead of the value of a here, we'll see that the address of a and the value of b are equivalent. B is just storing the address of a. So let's go ahead and make that change, recompile our program, and run it. And we see that the address of a and the value of b are identical, right? B is just a variable storing this address. Okay. Now, a useful thing to do with pointers is, of course, to access the value beneath them, very similar to how we wanted to access the value underneath iterators. So you'll see a decent amount of parallel between iterators and pointers here. So in order to access the value, right, beneath a pointer, we want to dereference it, and we do that with the star operator. So to say access the value being pointed to by b, so b in this case is storing the address of an integer. If you wanted to access the integer at that memory address, we would use this star sign. So we would say star sign b, or we would dereference our pointer b, and then we can play around with this integer stored at this memory location. So I can do, say, dereference b plus equals 1 here. So what are we actually doing here? Well, we're setting a equal to 5 here, so some integer a, setting equal to the value 5. then we're storing the address of A inside of B. So we have the memory address of A saved inside this variable B. And then I'm changing A here through B, right? So B is storing the location of A, and then I'm changing that integer A through that memory address and adding 1 to it. So if I go ahead and print out A in this case, right down here, I should see 6 now because we're updating that integer at the location of A. So we're updating A. So let's go ahead and save this, and we can go ahead and recompile pointers.cpp, and we can run it. So you can see that through the address of A, we were able to modify the value of A, right, through that dereference operator. So we access the integer stored at this memory location, so that's where A is stored, and we updated it by incrementing it by 1. So we were able to change A through this pointer. Okay, so that's a little bit on the basics of pointers. I'll go ahead and link down this page from CPP reference all about pointer declaration below the video. As you can see, there's quite a lot of information to get through here. Pointers to functions, pointers to void, pointers to objects, etc., etc. I will, of course, have to do a bit of a caveat here and say that oftentimes in C++, we don't like using raw pointers. But I think it's important to kind of introduce the concept. That way it makes it easier to discuss, say, the alternatives we have to raw pointers. And when we're talking about raw pointers, we're talking about things like this integer pointer, things where we're just storing raw memory addresses, say, inside of variables. So I think it's important to kind of understand what pointers are before we start talking about some of their safer alternatives. But that's going to go ahead and do it for today. You can, of course, find any of these examples at github.com/coffeebeforearch. But as always, I'm Nick, and I hope you have a nice day.